Trigger warning. This is a special edition of When Love Isn't Enough. I started to create content based on true crime stories of women whose lives were taken by the men in their lives that they loved and they thought loved them, and that was supposed to protect them. And then I started to reflect on my own story. And I realized that I am no different from victims of domestic violence who have lost their lives. Only I didn't lose my life physically. There's an attack on my mental health, my emotional well-being, and just my overall livelihood. How do you have a relationship with someone once full of love and understanding, then it becomes a war? Fighting for custody of children, and who can move on and be happy first? Lies, betrayal, slander, perjury, isolation, pain, and deception. What do you do when love isn't enough?
It's about time I tell my story. For any woman that has gone through anything similar, where you share kids with someone, you're no longer with them, and it becomes real messy and real toxic, and it's not healthy for the children, but adult egos get involved and it becomes a war. So this is my story, and this is my disclaimer. It's gonna be some trigger moments. There's gonna be some moments you're gonna say, this is your fault, you brought this on yourself. I can accept that. There's going to be moments people are going to say, see, this is what we're talking about with black women. It's going to be so many moments. And that's why I have not formulated my story in a manner that can be understood or heard properly. So before I leave this world, whenever that is, I want you to hear my story from the horse's mouth. Ladies, first and foremost, if a dude that you're dating goes to prison, the judge broke y'all up. Plain and simple. I know it hurts. I know it's hard to hear. But leave that man to think about what it is that he really wants when he comes home. A lot of us have been told that. Some of us have been in that situation. Some women say, hell no. Once a man goes to prison, I'm not dealing with that. But then there's women like me that want to be a ride or die chick. And what happens to ride or die chicks? They ride and they sometimes die. And I don't want to make light of any women that have lost their life to domestic violence. But in a domestic violence situation, sometimes there's an emotional death. Sometimes there is a spiritual death. Sometimes the person you're dealing with is killing you slowly with emotional abuse, physical abuse, all types of abuse that you may be surviving through physically, but it's killing your spirit.